Welcome back to Kinsey Performance and Tuning. I thought I'd give you an update on the C30 with the Holley Sniper issue. I got the sniper unit off, the throttle body unit off. Got it flipped upside down here. You can see this gasket must have been when it got installed. Got mislocated here, kind of torn, and it's actually double gasketed right here. Obviously that could mess with the IAC. This is the IAC that comes in here, that's the port. And that could be an issue, potentially. Whether it was leaking vacuum or not. You know, obviously unmetered air here could have a vacuum leak. It's double sealed. I mean, it looks like it was sealed, but it's hard to tell. Obviously it's not right, so it's going to have to get a new gasket, which it would anyway. But it's interesting to find that. This is the dead barrel here. So the two injectors that are in here for some reason are not working, and hopefully Holley will be able to find out why. So I ended up sending this back to Holley because it had two dead barrels, no injector pulses. It would be out of passenger side rear, which would be this barrel here. They quickly got to it, checked it out, said that yes, two of the injectors were problematic, and in the interest of not seeing it back under warranty again, they ended up replacing all 8 injectors on it. I got it back, was able to put it back on the truck, put everything in the Wizard, and fired it back up. It started doing some learning, and right away I noticed something was goofy again, so I ended up looking down the barrel, and wouldn't you know it, 2 of the injectors, passenger side rear, same ones, no fuel spray out of it at all. So rather frustrating. I know that there's issues with RFI, radio frequency interference with these, and they can be quite sensitive to that. So what I ended up doing is crazy, taking 2 layers of tin foil, basically wrapping it around the body, around the ECU area, grounding it to the intake manifold bolt on the engine, and just trying it again, just to eliminate anything that might be with RFI. No change, no fuel. So I'm like, I really don't want to send this thing back again. So I disassembled it. You can see I took off the fuel bowl cover, I guess you call it, on this side, on that passenger side. And if you look, you can see this is where the 4 injectors go into. On the barrel that works and has fuel coming out of it, I took a blowgun, regulated down air pressure, and sprayed into it, and you can see it and feel it coming out, the injector holes within the barrel up here. Did the same thing to the dead barrel, and it is just like testing a clutch pack and a transmission. You know, you should see the air come out. There should be a passageway. Obviously, if fuel's going in here, it's got to come out here. Nothing on either one of these. It's like there is no passageway from where the injector goes in to the holes inside the barrel where the fuel's supposed to come out. So in looking inside of it, I can basically see a space between what I would call where the barrel is inside of here for a passageway for the fuel to come out. And I see like black area, like there's obviously not, it doesn't look closed off on this one. On this one, it looks to me like the barrel is almost machined too large, and so there is no pathway. I don't see any. You can see black in here where there's obviously a space where there's not aluminum for that fuel to go around. On this side, it looks like it's solid aluminum, and there's no way for it to get out. There is no air coming out in here when you put the nozzle in here and depress it. So obviously something's the problem. I called Holley again. So I told him what I did, and he's like, well, disassembling it voids the warranty. it is what it is. He said he has one of those in stock, the 4500 series polished aluminum. He's just going to send me a brand new one to try to eliminate the problem, which is great. I mean, I feel kind of bad that I pulled it apart, but not all of it can be rocket science, at least in some of this stuff, and I've taken apart things that were far more complicated than this. So I don't feel too bad about it. Holley's going to make it right, it sounds like, by sending me a new one, and I'm hoping this thing can progress and I can get it tuned and back to the customer here pretty soon. So thought I'd give you an update. They sent me a brand new one, a brand new 4500 series, everything included. So kudos to Holley, though they didn't fix it the first time. They did end up replacing it. So I put it on there, and I got to get the wiring wrapped up here in a little while, but I'm tuning it with a laptop versus the handheld, and so I didn't want to permanently put anything in there yet. So it's running way better. Started the tuning process a couple days ago. I will do a cold start on it here. Sorry, I'm gonna get dizzy. You wanna open the door? So I'm just gonna reach through here and see how it starts. Pretty good, I'd say. It's got a vacuum leak underneath the dash here. I think it's a switch for the cruise control, which you aren't going to use anymore. So that can be taken out. I'm gonna go for a cruise with it. You can ride along. So we're cruising down the highway. Thing drives pretty nice. It's long and it's low. And with the C-notch in the back and the air suspension, it kind of bounces a little bit front and rear because the frame is so stiff on it with the C-notch and everything. When you get into it under power though, the custom 4-link in the rear is really plants the tires. I was sliding around a little bit yesterday. So we're in closed loop. It's learning. It's got a really efficient cooling system with a V-Cool radiator in it. And honestly, I don't think I've ever seen over 165, 170 degrees, maybe. I mean, yeah, it's cold outside, but still. Even when I was thrashing on it. Air fuel of 13.5, roughly, cruising. I'll roll into it here. For a big heavy truck, this thing gets up and goes. There's a nice feature here. Open the dumps up. Super healthy. Very unfriendly to the general public. Close them back up. This thing is way more fun than it should be. You get a lot of looks. It's quite the sleeper. that vacuum leak is totally messing with the idle, and it's not consistent either. So obviously once I fix that switch, we're letting unmetered air through there through that vacuum leak. So you can see the IAC position is maxed out, trying to keep it closer to, you know, what the actual idle RPM is, which is not good. It hasn't died yet, but it could. I'm sure this Prius likes this here. It's got a really healthy cam in it, obviously. I'll be back.